One.
Nice hair.
Ouch.
5 weeks now since my transplant was done, and so far no complaints. It's been a pretty easy healing process.
Oh my.
When I got the second one done, I thought, you know what, I think that's it for me. If it happens in the next few years, then maybe I'd consider having another one done. I don't know.
I really don't think that another one is necessary. I mean, it looks about as good as I can possibly imagine it looking again. No one's ever going to be perfect.
It's the best time of the year for us. We curl up on the couch, Michelle and I, and it's just it's such a nice sanctuary. We're finalizing plans for our wedding, and boy, that keeps you busy. I'm looking forward to seeing wedding pictures that don't look like Michelle's marrying a balding little boy.
Those pictures are going to last for a lifetime. You want to be remembered, and you want to remember that day as though you were the best you could possibly be.
I think it's driving us crazy. I think a lot of us are losing our hair. I think a lot of us are spending a lot of time trying to look better when, quite truthfully, is it helping? I don't know. I wonder sometimes if we really need to be doing all this. A lot of it should just relate to the person themselves. Good person, bad person, whatever. Females do it a specific way to attract us, and they know it works. And males try the same thing. And obviously, if you look younger, if you look fitter, if you look like you can take care of somebody better, that relates to money. If you're better looking, better suits, better cars, better toys, it works. I think we're all a little bit trying to attract the other sex.
One of the other significant contradictions of all of this is that the ideal body is frozen in time. It's a body that doesn't have a history, but it's also a body that doesn't change. And it's really rooted in a cult of youth. It's an ageless, perfect body. In the long term, I think what it does is that it creates a desire for something that ultimately we can't have. We're all going to age. At some point, our bodies are going to look their age. At some point, we're all going to die.
I'm a corporate recruiter, and our clients always want vibrant people. And obviously, the younger you look relates to vibrant, ready to do a hard day's job, whatever. And a lot of times, they forget about the experience that older people have. So in our society, we're all trying to look our age, if not a little bit younger. We certainly don't want to look any older. And in the corporate business world, hair can be very important because when you lose your hair or it's thinning, you do look older. We all know that. Perfect hair on a male would relate to something where you have a hairline. So the hairline does not attract attention. It's just there so people can focus in on what they should be, your eyes and your mouth, and when you're talking to them, and get an overall appearance of your face, not this big channel of balding skin that goes over the top of your head.
Some of them do comb-overs, which they really shouldn't do. They look very, very bad. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody that's receding or thinning out, and it's just kind of wrapped around the head a few times or going across. So I always suggest cut it as short as possible, and that way the hair actually looks thicker and more stylish as well. If you can give someone a good haircut and make them feel a little bit more confident about themselves, then that's half the battle.
A bit here, and about a ½ inch.
Just put a point there.
I don't want to come down. I want to extend this just a little so the profile's down lower. Yeah, that'd be the outside edge, and then I want to do the same thing here, across and down.
Okay, I'll let you see what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
How does it look now?
That looks good.
Okay, we're looking for a donor area now that we can take out. And his density is not very dense. You can see a lot of white between, so the more hair you can take, the better your result is going to be.
So we just do a longer strip, is that right?
Yeah, so we're going to take more, we're going to come from this area over to this area here. And there's sewn back up again. So now we're going to the next stage. The tissue that has been taken out is already being dissected up into single hairs. And we're now going to anesthetize the front and start creating some of the recipient holes in order to plant the follicles. One hair, and I'm just going to put that into the opening there. Okay, Dave, let's have a look.
Oh, that looks great. Let me go back on. I have no idea. We should ask. See if we can find out.
Well, he was balding. And now it just looks like he's thinning. It's not really a full head of hair, but it's a great improvement.
Just a different look, one that I wanted, and I am pleased. I probably need another 2-3 months of growth, to make it a little bit longer, to be able to comb it back a little bit. But other than that, very pleased, worked out well, looks natural, a lot of people don't know, and I'm happy with it.
I can't say that he appears more self-confident because he really is a self-confident kind of guy, but I think he's happier with himself.
2.5, 3 months, so another 4 or 5 months, a lot of this hair will be a lot bigger.
I really don't care. But you notice when people don't have it, and you notice it as a function of age. I think it's the other way around.
It is? Yeah. Thank you. It's all right?
Thank you. Wow.
We were at a party, as a matter of fact, a Halloween party, and I showed them some of the before and after pictures, and they had forgotten because they get used to you the way you are. Friends, they get to know you. And they had forgotten what a dramatic effect it is.
I think women accept things the way that they are, and well, I do.
I'd say 80–90% out there, no. It's just the way it is. Now, when they grow up and become a little bit more mature, will they change? Probably. But
Oh, you're talking about young women. I'm talking about older women.
I'm talking about medium-aged women.
Understand
Medium-aged
that we all
women.
change.
I know. But in the meantime, you have to meet some young women to get medium to get old. So you need some hair. That's it. I'm sorry. That's the way it works.
We're hoping that you'll be as forgiving with us as we are with you.
As long as I get hair, I can be forgiving at any time. Okay.
Okay, Dave.
I'm pleased. I guess that's all I can say. And other people out there, other guys, if they want to have it done, I suggest with the right doctor, giving it a try. It's worthwhile to me.
Standard, just not this thing.
Why not? Oh, it's supposed to be loud though.
What?
It's supposed to be loud. You pay extra for those exhaust
You
systems.
pay less extra for these?
Yeah.
Well, I think my dad probably wants a hair transplant because he seems to be going through somewhat of a midlife crisis. I mean, he bought this car like a year ago, and he got the boat and started a new job. And I don't know. If that doesn't say midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
I started really noticing that my hair was thinning. I guess I was about 39, 40 years old, so it's been 5-6 years ago. And very, very concerned about it, and started kind of kidding around. I'm going to need to pay, I'm going to need to do something. Didn't know much about hair transplants until I met Dr. Fremont as part of my trade show. My wife thought it was a great idea right from the get-go. From this first second I told her about it. As a matter of fact, in much the same way she was on my case about losing weight, she started saying, hey, you know what, you're losing your hair, you ought to start thinking about doing something. So when I came home that night and said, I have an opportunity to get a hair transplant, she said, great, go for it, make it happen.
Zeev's hair transplant, initially when I saw him, he was concerned about his frontal hair loss. And that's where we attempted to make him fuller. And looking at the pictures now that I see them when he first came in, and looking at him today for the first time after many months, it's made a big difference. Zeev is also continuing to lose hair, so his area in the back is getting thin. He's quite happy with the front, but what are we going to do for the back? He has a lot of donor hair. It's good, it's thick, it's getting salt and pepper, so it doesn't show as much in a hair transplant when you get white on white or black on black, but when you get the contrasting, you need more hair to create the illusion of fullness. So Zeev is reaching that stage where the hair coloring, the coarseness, and the amount of donor density that he has is very good. So I can afford to use some of that and trade it off for the back so that it gets more completeness in the fullness. In this area for today. Now have your mirror.
Yeah.
Now, the part that we've done before is out here, and you're quite comfortable with that now.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're not going to work in this area this time.
Okay.
We're going to look at the back.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm just going to wet the back down for you here so you can see it a little better.
All right.
And then we're going to outline exactly where the margins are. Now, if you haven't seen the back of your head before, I'm going to show you that this is getting fairly low. You can see that your margins are out into this area here. They're over to here. It's coming forward to here. And it's going way back there. Can you see all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the idea is that we may not ever reach the margins with the hair that you're going to provide because it's not an adequate area. You've got about 200 square centimeters of baldness that will develop, and you're only giving us, 20 square centimeters of skin. So we have to dilute this area down, but you have some existing hair now, so along with the new hair and the existing hair, it'll look a lot fuller. As this existing hair disappears, it'll get thin again, but maybe by that time a little thinness is not so terrible or it's not so critical. So, mirror up again. Now you can see a circular area that I've mapped out here.
Mm-hmm.
Goes all the way back here.
Yeah.
And around to here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to stay within the confines of this. Your margins may drop lower there, but the hairs that were going to come from the center are going to be able to cover that if that happens.
Okay.
This is an area that I have some concern about because if this margin opens up here, you're going to have some baldness over here, which we'll come back to at a later time because you have still lots of adequate donor hair, and the same thing over here. So we're going to stay within this area for today here. So what we're doing is we're spearing the scalp in the direction that the hairs are going to grow. And you can see these grafts here, and I can delicately lift up this and place this in. You're going to see the angle in which this is going to go in. Just pop that a bit. So I'll put that into this area here.
Right. Hi, Frank. It's Eve. How you doing? Good. I'm just getting my hair transplant right now.
But Stella and I are working both in the same area. She's working on the right side, I'm working on the left side. And we'll be able to shave about an hour to 2 hours off the total time if only one of us was doing it. And he uses a nice pack that a bag of frozen peas will shape itself to the head. And tomorrow he'll be fine. He'll wash his hair. He won't wash it vigorously. He doesn't want to put a comb through there because he'll drag out these little grafts. But he can wash it and tamp it dry. And that's the end of it. Right now we can blow dry it and he can walk out of here looking perfectly normal.
Got you a fresh one, Larry.
He stole my wine.
This is Dr. Larry Fremont. This is Mary Taylor.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Larry did my hair.
You did a great job.
Thank you. You can drive. How do I think things have changed since my hair transplant? Well, there's not a huge change. I just feel a little bit better about myself, a little bit more confident. Feels great having a full head of hair again. And it's all mine, so it's like you don't even think about it. It's like I never had a hair loss problem. The operation was the middle of March, and it's now July 13th. So we're talking about 5 months, something like that. And the hair's coming in nice and thick, and it feels great. And like nothing happened. It's just my own hair up on top. It took about 3 months before I started seeing real results. And now when I run my fingers through my hair or comb my hair, I can really feel a huge difference. In talking with the doctor, we're going to wait another couple of years, see what happens with my normal hair loss pattern, and if need be, we'll do a top-up in the next couple of years. So we'll kind of wait and see. Hopefully I don't need another procedure.
Show this weekend at the Metro Convention Center. It's the second year the Allied Beauty Association has held a trade show here, and it